Get that over with. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, Mary.
On this sunny Sunday. You can tell it's our first nice sunny Sunday warm with our smaller group today. But that's okay. And welcome to all those that are watching virtually as well. We appreciate you being with us. And we're going to start with our Prayer of the Child of Love song. So please stand and join us all. It's right on the front of your songbook.
Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally. Every day, in every way, amen. Every day, I will pray again. Father, Mother, God, your kingdom your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally, everywhere. Let love be there. Amen. Everywhere, this my prayer again. Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally.
Please be seated. Now I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable. And just begin to relax as we open with our centering and grounding and bringing ourselves fully into the room, body, mind, and spirit. Let's take our 3 deep fellowship breaths with an audible ah to release all of the stress that might be hanging on somewhere. Breathing in. Breathe in. One more time. Breathing in. We center ourselves in this precious present moment and feel the sacred life force within as we open our awareness and align with the force of love. We easily remember the magnificence we are, inseparable from, in unity with, our divine source. We immerse into this divine boundlessness and spaciousness, our source of guidance, sustenance, and empowerment. Together we leverage this creative power, lifting and expanding our energetic frequency and the collective energetic frequency into the highest realms of consciousness. Purest, truest love, joy, and peace. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. I'm going to introduce Julie Ross. Let's give her a warm, warm welcome.
I will be playing an original song today, but it's coming up next time I get up here. I'm going to start with a song from Marvin Gaye from 1971. My mother, there's far too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Father, Father, you don't need to escalate. You see, war's not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. You know we gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Yeah, picket lines, picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Mother, everybody thinks we're wrong. Truly judge us simply because her hair is long. You know we gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me, and you can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We love you today. Only love can conquer hate. What's going on? 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 Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thanks so much. We're going to have a fellowship song now. We haven't sang this one in a while. It's on page 17. It's the I Am chant. Written by our wonderful Lucille Olson. And Corey will guide us through. We're not going to sing both verses of all of the love, joy, peace in one. So we'll just follow Corey's lead. Please stand if you would.
I am love. I am love. I am love. In this moment, I am love. We are love. We are love. We are love. In this moment, we are love. We are one. We are one. We are one. In this
It's our time to say hello to each other and greet each other with a hug or handshake. Lots of nice big group hugs going on today. Very happy and excited to introduce our speaker this afternoon. Let's please give Bill Diedrich a very warm welcome.
Thanks for being here, even though it's a beautiful sunny day. You're here. So hopefully we can all shine together in here. And I think it'll still be out there when the service is over. So it'll be all right. So the title of my talk is Willingness, Acceptance. You have notes. Nancy is passing them out to you. And if you are remotely tuning into this service, or if you catch it later, you can get my notes from me. You just have to email me at theroadhome at comcast.net, not com.net. Theroadhome at comcast.net, and I will send you the notes. All right, thank you, Nancy. So this would be a kind of a parallel talk. The lesson is on the paper, but my story goes along with it. So it's a practical application then. There's an old saying from a Chinese Buddhist monk in the 9th century, and he said, if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. It doesn't mean literally kill him. What it means is don't put any teachers on a pedestal, because we're all just human. So I could be pretty hard on myself, given that I teach and write about all this stuff, so I expect myself to do it. But sometimes I fall a little short, so nobody will be killing me anytime soon. So, but keeping that in mind, that teachers they really help us, but none of them should be put on a pedestal, because we all are human here too, as well as divine. All right then. Willingness, acceptance, and freedom. So I started off this year pretty well. Most of you know that I walk every morning. I've been doing that for 3.5 years. Haven't missed a day. And I walk 2 or 3 miles, usually closer to 3. And this year I added in doing weightlifting 6 days a week. And that may sound like a lot. It is. But I do it, and I actually enjoy it. Well, it's kind of painful at times, but I enjoy that I do it because I feel so good when I'm done. So I've been feeling pretty good this year. So last week I went to Arizona to visit family, and I came back late Monday night, and Tuesday, even though it was a beautiful day here, same temperature as Arizona, 70s, I felt disconnected. It's hard to describe the feeling. You could say depressed, but more out of sorts, disconnected. Maybe you've experienced that before. You come home from a trip or something and you feel like, oh, I don't feel so great or whatever, and it's an emotional thing. But I couldn't really blame it on that, because I know it's got to be more than that. Also, starting a couple weeks ago, at the beginning of Lent, during Lent, I give up artificial sugar. I don't do any candy or cake or cookies or any of that kind of stuff. And I do love those kinds of things, crave those kinds of things sometimes. But during Lent every year, for probably the past 30 years, I just give it up. And sometimes I extend Lent. The best I've done is to July. But then it's summer and I like ice cream, so. But here I am in the middle of it. And so something happens when you give up eating sweets like that. You feel your emotions much more intensely, because sweets are a great cover-up. So normally what I might have done is come home not feeling so good. Oh, here's some chocolate. Let me have that. And then I would feel a little bit better. But the thing is, I really didn't want to feel better. I wanted to feel what I was feeling, because whatever I'm feeling is giving me a message. And I want to know what the message is so that I can move forward. So that's called willingness. As we say in the talk, willingness, acceptance, and freedom is the title of this talk. It begins with willingness to experience whatever's going on inside of you, whatever thoughts or feelings or even physical situations are happening in your life, to be willing to face it as opposed to escape it. So we look at what is and we say, this is what is, and I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with it being the rest of my life, but I'm okay in this moment that this is where I am, and I'm choosing to move through it, to move to a better place. So we face what is, as it says in your notes there, without defensiveness, without attack, without blaming, without escaping or avoiding, or playing the victim. And for me, I had some things going on, a few family things, with a couple, one family member in particular, where things are not going as well as I would like. And so there's feelings about that and emotions about that, feeling that this person's being unfair, this person is being outrageous, or whatever it may be. And so I have to be willing to face that and not just blame the other person. So that's what I committed to doing. However, in my thoughts, I'm still blaming. I'm still running the story through my mind. Maybe you've never done that, but you're in a conflict with somebody and you keep running this scenario through your mind over and over again, and it doesn't get any better the more you run it. Because really all you're doing is justifying your point of view and that you're right and the other person must be wrong. Or if you want to go the other route, you're wrong and the other person's probably right. You could do that one too. That depends. But I know that neither is true. And I really believe in the old adage, don't believe everything you think. And there's a lot of things I think that I don't believe. Just because they happen to be in my mind doesn't mean that they're true. So there are two paths, of course, when you run into some kind of negativity in your life. That is the path of fear, where you run away or avoid, which leads you to imprisonment. Because it's an imprisonment in the sense that now you're in a repetitive cycle. And you haven't resolved what the issue is, and it will certainly come up again. And if you keep not facing it, it will come up as some disease in your body, or an injury, or some relationship issue in your life, or some financial issue, or something going on. Because you're either rejecting or projecting it, you're not dealing with it. So it's always going to show up. So the truth is, there's no escape. If you've got something going that's troubling you, there's no escape. You have to face it. Well, you don't have to face it. But if you want to be free, if you want to be happier, then you must face it. So once you know that you're willing, then we move toward acceptance. And that is accepting where you are. You'll see at the top of the page, it says, be, feel, think, do, relate, have. That's the causal sequence. And that was developed by a teacher I had named Thomas Michael Powell. He lives in Mexico, and he's got a lot of good stuff. Anyway, I find it useful. So much literature and speakers often tell us that what we think creates our emotional state, and that's totally untrue. Your thoughts do not create your emotions. Your emotions create your thoughts. Thoughts can trigger emotions, but a trigger is not a cause. If someone in my life says something I don't like, I can tell myself, well, they're causing me to feel bad, but they're not. They're triggering a negative emotion that's already in me. And so if I think a thought that is unpleasant and then I feel badly about it, that thought didn't cause it. That thought triggered what was already in me. Because you can try to change your thoughts, but if you don't change the underlying emotional states, the thoughts are just going to come back. And once you deal with the emotions and you resolve them, then the thoughts don't come anymore. But deeper than feeling is identity, and that's the be part of that. So the question is asking, when I'm thinking this and feeling this, the question is, who am I being? What's the identity that I'm playing out here? I'm not good enough, or I'm the person people pick on, or I'm a victim, or I'm powerless, or I'm ugly, or what is it that I'm playing out here? But then also resisting, because I'm caught up in this cycle of playing this identity. It's not who I really am, but it's an identity that I created sometime in my life, maybe when I was a child, maybe when I was adult, I don't know, or maybe I brought it in with me, I'm not sure. But we all have these multiple identities that we play out. They get triggered in various situations, and we don't know how to change it sometimes. You might think, well, this is just how I am. Well, it's not how you are. It's what you're playing. It's the role you're playing, the identity you're playing right now. So we accept where we are, which means start with emotions. Not with thoughts, but what's the emotion underneath the thoughts? Step back from the thoughts and say, what's going on? What am I feeling? And accept those emotions. And I know I've said that many times standing up here, but we need to accept emotions in order to resolve them. You have to feel it in order to heal it. And we have to accept those emotions without judgment. If you're angry or resentful or bitter, that's not bad. It just is. And so accept it. It's what you do with it that matters. If you're dumping it on other people, well then you might want to change that. But if you have an emotion there, and we all have them, just accept what is. And then mentally, where are you mentally? If you're obsessing about some problem, or obsessing about some person that you blame, or some situation, then accept that you're obsessing, and that it's really just your story. And most stories I find, both in my mind and in the minds I've probed and people I've worked with, most stories are not true. Some of you are familiar with Byron Katie and her work, where the first question she asks when you have a story that's troubling you is it true? And the second question is also, is it true? Are you absolutely sure that it's true? Beyond a doubt. And then the next question has to do with identity, which is, who are you being when you think that way? And then the last question is, who are you being, who would you be if you weren't thinking that way? Well, you'd be free, wouldn't you? And there's another one called the turnaround, but I'm not going to get into that right now because that's not part of this talk. All right, so emotionally, we accept what we feel. Mentally, we step back from the thoughts and accept, okay, this is the thinking that I'm participating in right now, and what can I do about it? And of course, we want to go back to the emotions and deal with the emotions as much as possible. Third is spiritually. Now, this is the funny part for me. You know, I talk about all this stuff, but on Tuesday, I start feeling bad when I woke up in the morning. And with spiritually, when I'm saying spiritually, it means you ask for help. Or you turn it over. So when did I do that? On Tuesday? No. Did I do it on Wednesday? Because I know a lot about emotional intelligence. I can handle this emotion and these thoughts. How about Thursday? Did I handle it then? Friday. Oh, I should turn this over. So then I asked for help. And I literally said that. I need help. Please help me. And however you describes spirit. Spirit, God, Holy Spirit, higher self, holy self, presence of God, whatever term you use, ask for help. Because it's that old saying about you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. That you got to get outside of your current emotional and mental states. And the only way to do that is to ask for help. And help is available to all of us. The help is within you and all around you. So we ask for help. And physically, accept the physicality of your situation. Now for me, there wasn't a physical thing going on in my body in this particular thing. But if there were, like an injury or a sickness or something like that, I would need to accept that. This is where I am right now. This hurts, or this is not well, or whatever. But for me, there was at least one relationship issue, and this person acts in this certain way. Accept that. Accept that that's where they are right now, and I really don't know why they do the stuff they do. And to tell myself that I do, to analyze, it's, how would I know? It's just me analyzing and solidifying my position as the poor victim who's right, which I don't really want to be in that position anyway. So accept the physicality of your situation, which means love yourself as you are right now. That is such a key piece in all of this, is that you love yourself. I love myself. So this was not a self-esteem issue for me at all. In the past, when I was younger, I might have a situation like this where I would think, oh, I'm a terrible person, or I'm this, or I'm that. I'm not going there because I don't feel that anymore, because I love myself. Loving myself does not mean I'm perfect. It doesn't mean everything I do, feel, say, think is okay. It means just that I love myself, that I appreciate who and what I am, and that I know that I'm a spiritual being. So I have this deep appreciation for myself, which is, if you don't have that, if you have a lot of shame, that sort of thing, it's difficult to do this. But the way that you get out of the shame is to actually do this kind of thing, to accept how you feel, to accept where you are right now, because that's a big part of love, is acceptance, as opposed to resistance. As humans, we tend to resist a lot. But as you know, what we resist will persist. It hangs in there the more you resist it. So stop resisting. You are where you are. But in addition to just accepting, we want to envision what can be. I accept what is, and at the same time, I envision what can be. So in this relationship thing, which is only part of what I was feeling, I can accept the other person as they appear to be, and I can embrace them as they are and accept them as they are and envision something better, that we would be at peace with each other. So we envision that and love that, which means if I'm going to envision something better, I need to become that something better. I need to be that person, not wait around for the other person to be that person, because I will wait a very long time. If you're waiting for somebody to be nice to you who's not being nice, you will wait a very long time. But if you change, then you will give them someone different to respond to. Did you catch that? If you change, which means you open up and become the person you truly meant to be, the person you want to be, then that gives them someone different to respond to, and it changes them. How does it change them? Maybe they'll leave your life. Or maybe they'll just not do the stuff they were doing before because it's not being reinforced anymore. Maybe they'll be inspired. I don't know. But I know it works because I've done this quite a few times where I've changed and the person has almost no choice but to change how they respond to me. Because I've changed the dynamic of the relationship. But that's how it is with all of life. When you change the be, feel, and think, the do and relate automatically changes, and it affects the have, the results. I'm pointing again to that causal sequence up top of your paper. Be, feel, think, do relate, have. Who you are being creates how you feel. Who you are being and how you're feeling attracts certain kinds of thinking, very repetitive. And then all those three things contribute to what you do and how you relate to others. And then all of that combined comes together to produce what you have, what you manifest in your life. Whatever you have in your life, you have manifested it. You. Nobody else. The universe. There was no God standing up there scratching his beard and saying, I'm going to give so-and-so a hard time today. Or I'm going to deny them what they really want. That's not happening. You are the co-creator. You are accountable and responsible for what's going on. No, you don't have control over what the world is doing or what other people do, but you have influence. And you have influence by changing you. When you open up, the world starts to open up. And I know that's true because I can track my own progress over the years. And I can't say that I'm a quick study. But then I look around and I see, not here, but in other places, people my age and older, I say, well, compared to a lot of people, I guess I am a pretty quick study. Because a lot of people aren't even doing this stuff. They don't have any willingness. There isn't any acceptance. And I see a lot of that, unfortunately. But fortunately, I see a lot of that resistance, I should say. But then I also see quite a few people that do have a willingness and acceptance. So it's kind of balanced. But it just seems there's so many. And it doesn't mean I'm better than the people that are unable to do that. It's just an observation that I have to accept the reality of this physical world, and that everybody in the world is not like all of you. Most of you are doing your work, right? You're probably all doing your work on yourself. Not everybody is. I have to accept that. I have to often work with people who are not only not doing their work, but resist doing so. And I have to find a way to work with that. Sometimes successful in getting people to look within, and sometimes not successful. It's their choice. Anyway, so if we have the willingness and the acceptance, that leads us to freedom. The only way out is through. I used to see that on posters a long time ago. There is no getting around. As I said earlier, there's no escape. You will feel the freedom as you move through the discomfort, the pain, the negativity. You'll feel yourself rising up, your heart will open. And that's what's been happening to me this week. On Tuesday, I felt like crap. And I acknowledged that. I went through all the stuff. Wednesday, still felt like crap. I could use more definitive words, but I'll just use that for now. Thursday, not so great. It's kind of funny how the day I really felt the most progress was Friday, the day that I asked for help. There must be something to that, asking for help. But I started feeling better. Yesterday, I had an encounter with the person I said that there was an issue with, and we didn't get into any deep talks or talk about any problems, but we had a nice time. Because that's what I felt was the good thing to do. Just be kind and be a good listener and converse and ask questions of inquiry. And I did that. And it worked out. We had a good time. I had a good time. Sometimes I felt awkward when there were times of silence, but I said, it's okay to have silence because I'm being present with this person. And it's okay. And so it went well. So I felt really a lot better after that, because if I go back a few days, none of the things I imagined in my mental conflicts, my stories, came true. Just like I said, most of the stuff we think is not true when we're imagining what other people are thinking or what their intentions are or what they're going to do. It's just in our heads. So it's good that I didn't really believe those thoughts because they didn't come true. Now, I could make them come true by my behavior, possibly, but I chose not to do that. All right, then. So As the days progressed, I went through this whole process, feeling more free, more up. And so now today, I'm back to where I was, but better. Better because I mostly resolved something. I resolved what that feeling was about. I took it on, and I experienced the victory. I experienced freedom. I saw that I could do it. I don't think I'm done yet, because I know a lot of my disconnection was feeling disconnected from my higher self, the presence of God within me and all around me. And so, but that's something I can work on, something that I can attend to. Or I could, of course, just escape, eat chocolate and watch TV. I could do that, I guess. But I've already done that before. So I think I'll try facing that one, too. Which means more prayer time, more contemplative time, more turning it over time, more meditation time. And so that's what I'll do. So the solution is right in front of me. It's not like, oh, I'm in the dark night of the soul and I'm lost. I'm not. Because I know there's a path. And it may feel like I'm in the dark night of the soul, but that's okay. Because I know that my feelings are just feelings. They're not who I am. They're part of me. And I know that the identity that I'm playing out, whatever it may be, not good enough, all alone, whatever the identity is, it's not real. It's a role that I'm playing in this lifetime. Because I'm all powerful. Not my ego, but I'm all powerful, the real me. And so, why not play that role as best as I can? And recognize that the other one is just a passing thing. Something that I'm here to work through. I think you can do that too. What do you think? Yeah? I mean, do you know that? That when you're feeling down or upset or whatever it may be, that it's not really you, that it's just a role you're playing. And that those feelings that you have are just feelings that you're having. They're not who you are. They're part of you. You have to own them. But if you just sit with them and face them or walk with them and not resist them, they will eventually, as I've said before, expire, because every negative emotion has an expiration date. If you allow yourself to feel it, if you accept it. And you can go deeper and say, well, who am I being when I think and feel this way? And is that who I want to be? And if you can zero in on that, you can just sit with that and say, okay, let's say I'm helpless is the identity that I'm playing out. Then I'll just sit in the chair and I'll be helpless for a little while. I'm going to play the role. And I'm going to observe myself playing that role of being helpless. All right then. And then when I'm through with it, when I've played it out and there's no sense in me doing it anymore, it will expire. It will dissolve. And the next thing will come up. Because that's life, right? The next, and the next, and the next. And if nothing's coming up, you must be dead. Because as long as you're alive, stuff's going to come up. And that's a good thing. And then, so when you actually do die, you can say, wow, I worked through a lot of stuff. I feel really good. I'm ready to move on. I accomplished a lot. Which is all where we all want to be when that day comes, right? To say, yeah, I really did it this time. Okay then. Willingness, acceptance, and freedom. You have to have the willingness to look at yourself, the acceptance of what is, and then if you do those two things, you'll experience the freedom that can be. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Bill. On page 35, our thoughts, our prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God He's always there, and every thought becomes a prayer.
Thank you so much, Bill. This is the time in our service when we fill our hearts with gratitude and generosity. And please know that we here at the fellowship, all of us, are so grateful for all of your donations and generous contributions that help us all be able to experience these beautiful services together on Sunday and all the other things that fellowship does for us. John is going to come around with the basket. I want to remind you too, you can put your prayer requests in there as well. And whether you're giving a gift today or donate online, please hold your gift in consciousness and we'll sing together.
Sing with me. Grateful, I am grateful. 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 I am grateful.
Let's together read the blessing of our tithes and offerings on the front of your bulletin. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. And please let's also take a very important moment to close our eyes once again and go within and hold close in our hearts all those listed on the prayer cards today in the basket. We extend our love, and may our love and the all-powerful love find its way to those in need in whatever way. And may they open to this love and allow it in. Allow it to heal and guide and sustain, to clarify, to resolve. As they turn over to the one presence that is always there for us. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you, thank you. We do have time for our second fellowship song today. So I invite you all please to stand and turn to page 44, The Rest of My Life.
The rest of my life is just beginning. The rest of my life heart today. I'm choosing this moment of my life to start the changes that will bring happiness and peace of mind to stay. I'm releasing the past with all its errors. The future will bring what I desire. And as I go along with life, I'll learn the way to live the rest of my life. I'll live in love. My divine plan is now being revealed. I've opened myself to change and grow. I'm attracting the people in my life who I'll be serving, and who will teach me lessons that I need to grow. The rest of my life will live in laughter, enjoying each moment of each hour. And as the changes come, I'll learn about the way to live the rest of my life. I'll live in love.
Please be seated.
The song is called I've Turned the Page. It's one of the first songs I wrote. Summer 2021. I think there was a pandemic going on during that time. I'm letting go, going with the flow. I'm looking forward on this road I know. For me, I'll grow, let go of pain. My mind's rearranged, I've turned the page. Yeah, I've entered a new stage. You see, I've changed, chased all my fears away, and I faced all my pain. I slayed the dragons and the dark of night. Now I face a brand new day. Trying to make my way, starting each new day with a guiding ray, connected to the vast array of all I see. Thanks I pray, so many lessons learned, and so much in return. On the way to get burned, it's from the ashes I've discerned the true me. I've turned the page, I've entered a new stage. My mind's rearranged. You see, I've changed, I've turned the page.
you very much.
Well, that was perfect. Wasn't it? Thank you so much, Julie, for your beautiful music, and Corey. Thank you, Bill, for your message. I hope we all have some nuggets we can take home with us and work on in our own lives. That's the point after all. And I want to thank all of you for being here on this beautiful sunny day. And there's still some sunshine out there, so we can still enjoy it. Thank you all, you virtual watchers as well. Just a few quick announcements. This coming Saturday, the office will be open once again from 10 until noon. For those who might be interested in looking at books or furniture or whatever, we have to pass all those things along that are in the office to let our new plan unfold. We will be using this money that we make from these purchases for a new printer and laptop so that it will be easier for Samantha and I to work from home. And there will be another option also on Saturday the 23rd of this month. Remember that Death Cafe is coming up on March 16th. That's a Saturday at 2 p.m. in the office. And that same day at 5 o'clock, we have our St. Patrick's Day fundraiser dinner, which is always a good time and lots of delicious food. So please plan on joining us for that. That's at 5 p.m. at the office. Healing Movements every Monday at 4 p.m. So let us join together in our peace circle and say our closing blessing.